loud. Okay. I believe you have to agree to the recording. So click on that. Okay, it is, what day is it? Tuesday, December 7th, 2021. And this is week 1 of Loving Your Life. And the theme today is mindset, and particularly, what was I thinking? Okay, so we're going to talk about the decisions we made and how it got us to where we are. And we're going to clear away those traps that you might have fallen into before so that it doesn't happen again. Now, because this is personal stuff, we have some rules of engagement that I want to go over. So number 1 is privacy. There's no sharing of anyone else's story. If something really fantastic happens on these calls and you want to tell somebody, you know, how great the group healing is, then I insist you change the gender, you change enough about the story that it could never come back to anyone in the group who said it. All right, so you might want to just share the transformation or the lesson. You don't have to give any personal details, but better not to talk about it so that privacy is maintained. Also, no judgment and no criticism of what anybody shares, what anyone has gone through, what anyone is thinking, okay? I like to say be supportive or be silent, okay? And no feedback. This is not, it's not group therapy, and your opinions really should be kept private, okay? Also, respect everyone's journey. Whatever happened, there's a reason. There's a reason people made the choices they made, and we just need to respect that. Does everyone agree to that? Mm-hmm. Yes, okay. So that's about others. But we also have some rules of engagement for yourself. And I recommend stop telling your story. We get caught up in our stories and that keeps us stuck. So stop telling your story until it is so far in the distance where you can wrap it up in one sentence without any emotional triggers, okay? So for now, we're gonna stop telling the story. And instead, you focus on what you want. That's it. Focus on the changes you want and your bright future. And really important, speak kindly to and about yourself. I don't just mean in the group, but always speak kindly to and about yourself, and celebrate your progress, celebrate your wins, and stay true to yourself. Do you agree?
Yes.
Yes.
Yes. Okay, great. Very good. All right. Does anyone have any questions? All right, I guess that was clear. Good. Okay, so before we begin, I want you to be in an optimal state so you get the most out of this. So let's do a grounding exercise. I don't know how your day has been. It is the end of the day. So if you've been with others, you've probably collected little bits of energy. All right, so just close your eyes. This is really quick. It's the tree exercise. So imagine you're either in a park or in the woods, or maybe there's a beautiful tree in your own property, and lean your back against the tree. Feel the strength and the permanence of this tree. Trees are called the standing people in Native spirituality because they witness everything that goes by. So just honor and respect the tree for standing and silently witnessing everything that goes on around it. And now let's imagine it's daytime and the sunlight is coming down and filtering through the leaves and down the trunk of the tree. And because you are a part of the tree now, you're leaning against it, the energy goes down through you, all the way through your body, and beyond the ends of your feet, the bottoms of your feet, and deep into the earth. 10, 20, 30 feet, 40 feet, 50 feet, 60, 70, 80, 90, 100 feet into the earth, or more if you like. Oh, very good. And now let the Earth's magnetic energy gather and come up, through the bottom of your feet and up your body and out your crown chakra. Excess energy just cascades out around you. And let's just see that energy exchange happen twice more. So the sun's energy filtering through the leaves, down the tree and you, through your legs, through the tree roots, 100 feet into the ground. And the magnetic energy comes up, all the way up the earth, into your feet, up your body, and exits off the top of your head. And take a breath. Very good. And one more time. Sunlight filters through the leaves, the branches, down the tree trunk and you, out the bottom of your feet, down into the roots and below, way deep down, 100 feet into the earth. And the energy, the magnetic energy of the earth comes up through the earth, into your feet, up your body, up the top of the tree as well. And the excess just cascades out. Good. Okay, so you're well grounded now. And now focus on your core. So between your sternum and your pelvis, that's your area of power. And just inhale into that area. And when you exhale, imagine the energy around you expanding out. So the circle of energy goes out farther away from you. So anything that's dense around you is becoming more diffused. The debris of the day, anything other people put upon you. Expand out, far, far out. Very good. Yawning is a sign of relaxation. Oh, excellent. Okay. And in this nice grounded and expanded state, focus on your nervous system. Okay, starting with your spinal column and extending out to all the branches of your nerves. And just think, relax. Let your nerves relax. Let there be ease of communication through your nerves. And back up into your brain. The flow of information is easy, smooth, rhythmic, and quick. All parts of you are in perfect harmony. Very good. And the last step here, I want you to think about a person who would support you in what you're doing here and the ways you want to change or improve your life. Be somebody who's alive currently or has passed on. Call in the person of that spirit who would be 100% supportive. And invite them to sit with you. They're allowed to offer you strength and support without interfering. Welcome them and thank them. Okay. So take an energizing breath and come back. All right, Margaret, come back to the room. There you are. This is good. I can see if you pass out. I can't see Lydia, but maybe.
I hope you feel it's okay, because I do feel a bit reticent to sort of show my face, and
Okay.
I don't know if it's okay with everybody else. I can say hello briefly if you like.
Yes, please do, because I don't think we've met.
No.
Hello.
Hi.
Okay.
So is it okay if I turn it off?
That's okay.
Thank you.
All right. Okay. Did everyone do their homework? I know you didn't have much time. So the theme is your mindset and what was I thinking? So in terms of, what goofy mistakes did I make that I want to never make again, if possible? So, what mindsets did I have that were not helpful to me and maybe even got me in trouble? But I want to approach this with love and respect for yourself and for the circumstances you were in, because everyone makes the best decision they can based on their state and the resources they have. Does everyone understand that? I think you do. So the important thing is all healing and transformation begins with self-acceptance. Nothing will shift if we sit in self-judgment and criticism. So we have to accept that what happened was the best that we could do at the time. And so it's mandatory that we work on self-acceptance. So I want to do EFT on that. Is everyone familiar with EFT, emotional freedom techniques? Okay, so that is it's basically known as emotional acupuncture without the needles. So instead of putting needles in your face and torso, we're going to stimulate those energy points by tapping. So we tap just with 1 or 2 fingers. It was part of your bonus package was the instructions and the tapping chart, but that's fine because we're going to do it live here. Yes, Mary, come back. Okay, so we all think we have maybe intense or horrible stories, but really we've all been through the same stuff. And this is why the group sessions work. So we've all had common traumas, common experiences, like I said, with a different cast of characters. So, one person's abandonment might be because they were adopted. Another person's abandonment is because their husband left them or a business partner did something. So, we all have the same common issues like abandonment, betrayal, and rage and shyness for whatever reasons. And so we can work together. And even if we're working on something that you don't think particularly pertains to you, there is an aspect of it that does. And you will experience what's called borrowing benefits So we might be working maybe on Mary's particular issue one time, but you can tap along, pretend you're Mary, or focus on yourself, either way, and you will feel the benefits too. You will get it. It's like your subconscious understands that this applies to me somehow, and it'll work. So when we're clearing beliefs, thoughts, ideas, what have you, what happens is when we clear the biggest ones, then a lot of the little ones collapse on their own. So it's kind of like there's a table, say a table of all your traumas, and the legs are, you know, your 4 biggest traumas, but there might be like little sticks underneath kind of supporting. But if we hack out the legs, the little sticks are going to fall. So all those secondary and tertiary problems will just collapse on their own. But it's important to focus on some of the bigger issues. And I always start with self-acceptance, because if you don't accept yourself, then you're not going to accept your own healing, or it'll be sort of small and temporary. But I think you probably want permanent solutions, right? Okay, so does anyone want to share some? Oh no, we'll do that later. First, we'll do the self-acceptance. So I just wrote down some common phrases that have come up with other clients. Excuse me. Okay, so I'll explain the tapping points for EFT. So it's called emotional freedom techniques. It's plural because there's many different ways to do it. So we tap on right where your eyebrow hairs begin. Okay, so it's at the root of your eyebrow hairs. So I actually do 2 fingers, but really only my middle finger is doing it. Or if you want to be gentler, you know, the ring finger will work there too. You won't poke yourself in the eye, don't worry. So that's the first point. The second point is called side of the eye, and it's on the bone, exactly on the bone. So you're almost poking yourself in the eye. If you have long nails, you have to be really careful. Next is under the eye. So you look up so that you won't poke yourself. Again, it's on the bone, directly under your pupil. So it's called under the eye. Then we have under the nose. Then we have chin. Chin is really under the lip. Don't think the point of your chin. No, it's directly under your lip. It's in the groove here. So I tap there. Oh, my ring is making a little jingle sound. Remove it. Okay, so under the nose and the chin, I use 3 fingers there. Doesn't matter. And then the next point is on the underside of your collarbone. It's actually like, if you look, if you were to draw a line from your pupils and fall off your face, that's where you land. So it's a very simple point. I find if you make loose fists and tap there, you're sure to get it. Okay, so you can tap either side. I like to tap both sides. So you see that my knuckles are not touching. I'm about 2 inches apart. All right. Next is under the arm. So it's right where the seam of your shirt is, and it should be a sore spot. If it's not sore, poke around to find it. You know, a good way to find it is do a thumbs down, stick out your arm, and then poke yourself in the side. You're going to land on the sore spot. Tell me if I'm wrong here. Everybody do that. Poke yourself with your thumb down, and you'll find it. You got it? Yeah. So I just use all 4 fingertips. So it's really right where your bra strap is, right? Yeah. Okay. And then I like to include this point. I cross the wrists, because all the meridians run through to your fingertips. So if we just use the wrists, that covers the fingertips, right? So at the end, I like to take a deep breath and exhale and say peace, and that calms down my whole system. All right. So you've got to be in a calm state to heal, and you have to be in a self-accepting state to heal. All right. So those are the points. Everybody got them? Mary Ellen, it's probably best to take off your glasses so that you can, unless you can't see. So do your best, do what you have to do. Okay, but we first start by tapping on what's called the karate chop point, right? So if you were gonna smack some pieces of wood, you go, you know, like that on the karate chop point. So with all 4 fingertips of the other hand, you tap here, and this is where we tap as we say our setup phrase. And the setup phrase is said 3 times. So I'll say it, and then you can repeat after me. Even though I haven't always accepted myself, Go ahead.
Even though I always haven't accepted myself.
I deeply love and accept myself anyways.
I deeply
love and accept myself anyways.
I know it's sort of a funny sentence, but just trust me. Even though I haven't always accepted myself,
even though I
always haven't
Say it.
accepted myself.
okay, let's say that correctly. Even though I haven't always accepted myself,
Even
though
even though I haven't always accepted myself, I deeply love and accept myself anyway.
I deeply love and accept myself anyway.
Right. One more time. Even though I haven't always accepted myself,
Even though I haven't always accepted myself.
I deeply love and accept myself anyways.
I deeply love and accept myself anyways.
Okay, good. So that is the setup phrase. Now we do a little reminder phrase as we tap through the points. So the reminder phrase will be, haven't always accepted myself. So tap as you say it.
I haven't always accepted myself.
Side of the eye. Haven't always accepted myself.
Haven't always accepted myself.
Right. Under the eye. Haven't always accepted.
Haven't always accepted myself.
Under the nose. Haven't always.
Haven't always accepted myself.
Haven't always
Haven't
accepted
always
myself.
accepted myself.
Collarbone.
Haven't always accepted myself.
Under the arm. Haven't always
accepted myself.
Yeah, I forgot to tell you, top of the head. Haven't always accepted
Always
myself.
accepted myself.
And now cross your wrists, breathe in. Peace.
Peace.
Okay. So that's one round of tapping. Let's go through the other aspects of lack of self-acceptance. Yes?
Does it matter which side of your face or, okay,
Nope. You can switch if you get tired. Doesn't matter.
thank you.
I often do both sides at the same time, where I can. Anyway, okay. So even though I have judged and criticized myself,
Even though I have judged and criticized myself,
I deeply love and accept myself anyway.
I
deeply love and accept myself anyway.
Even though I have judged and criticized myself,
Even though I have judged and criticized myself,
I deeply love and accept myself anyway.
I deeply love and accept myself anyway.
Even though I've judged and criticized myself,
Even though I've judged and criticized myself,
I deeply love and accept myself anyway.
I deeply love and
I
accept
love and
myself.
accept myself anyway.
Good. Releasing judgment and criticism.
Release and
Releasing judgment and criticism.
Releasing judge and criticism.
Releasing judgment and criticism.
Releasing judge and criticism.
Under the eye. Releasing judgment and criticism.
Criticism.
Letting go of judgment and criticism.
Letting go
Oh,
of
judgment and criticism.
criticism.
Letting go of criticism.
Letting go and judge.
Collarbones. Letting go of judgment and criticism.
Letting go of judgment and criticism.
You're all frozen in different stages. Uh-oh. Okay. Letting go.
Of judgment, criticism. Letting go of judgment and criticism.
Take a deep breath. Peace.
Peace.
How are you feeling? You're all yawning, so things are shifting. The one thing you'll find with EFT is, if you're doing it right, you will feel more and more relaxed. So that means the stress and tension is releasing from your organs. And that's exactly what's going to start healing.
It feels kind of like a meditation, like a prayer.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Exactly. Yeah, it does. You're right. Okay, let's do a couple more. Even though I put myself down, I deeply love and accept myself anyway.
Even though I put myself down,
Down.
I truly
I
love
love and accept myself anyway.
Even though I've put myself down, I deeply love and accept myself anyway.
Even though
Even though I put myself down, I deeply love
I
and accept
deeply-
myself anyway.
Yes, it's deeply love and accept myself. Okay, one more time. Even though I've put myself down, I deeply love and accept myself anyway.
even though
Even though I put myself down, I deeply love and accept myself anyway.
That's right. Releasing the put downs.
Releasing the put downs.
So yeah, I put myself down.
I put myself down.
Under the eye. Now this is in EFT, you can change the words. We'll continue a sec. You can change the word slightly. So I'm going to, I didn't always support myself.
I didn't always support
Oh,
myself.
Just repeat that. I didn't always support myself.
I didn't always support myself.
Yeah. I forgive myself for putting myself down.
I forgive myself for putting myself down.
Chin. I forgive myself for putting myself down.
I forgive myself for putting myself down.
down.
I put myself down. I let it go now.
I put myself
Myself
down
down, I
and I let it go now.
Letting go of all my put downs.
letting go
Letting
of
go
all
of
my
all my put downs.
I forgive myself for putting myself down.
I forgive myself for putting myself down.
Deep breath. Cross wrists. Peace.
Peace.
And one more. Even though I didn't always love and appreciate myself, I choose to do so now.
Even though I
Even
do.
Though I didn't always love and appreciate myself,
I do so
I
now.
choose to do so now. Even though I didn't always love and appreciate myself,
Even though I
Choose
didn't
to do
always
so now.
love and appreciate myself,
I choose to do so now.
I choose to do
One
so
more time.
now.
Even though I
Even
don't
though I didn't always love and appreciate myself,
appreciate myself, I choose
I choose
I choose to do so now.
now.
to do so now.
I love and appreciate myself.
I love
I
and
love and appreciate myself.
Eyebrows. Okay. Side of the eye. I love and appreciate myself.
I love
And appreciate.
myself.
Under the eye. I love and appreciate myself.
I love and appreciate myself.
Under the nose. I love and appreciate myself.
I
I
love and
love and appreciate myself.
Chin. I accept myself as I am.
I
I
accept
accept myself as I am.
Collarbones. I accept myself as I am.
I accept myself as I am.
Under the arm. I accept myself as I am.
I accept myself as I am.
Top of the head. I accept myself as I am.
I accept myself as I am.
Here's a bonus point. Around the ears. Over and around the ears. I absolutely love and accept myself.
I
Absolutely love and accept myself.
And across the back of the bottom of the skull, I deeply love and accept myself no matter what.
I deeply love and accept myself
no matter what.
no matter what.
One more time. I deeply love and accept myself no matter what.
I
Deeply love and accept myself
no matter
no
what.
matter what.
Deep breath in, cross your wrists. Peace. Oh boy. Oh, lots of yawns. Okay, that's good. That's energy shifting. So luckily, energy shifting with yawning is great, but you can also, I mean, occasionally people cry. It's rare, actually. You might giggle, you might sigh, or often I inhale sharply. It just comes in really quick. So that's also a shift in energy. So any of that. Some people burp and some people fart. So um, you may want to mute yourself if your shifting transforms into something less appetizing. Okay. All right. Okay, so here's where I ask, did you do your homework? And are there beliefs, mindsets that you want to shift that you think you need help with? And whatever you say, it probably applies to everybody else too. So who would like to share? And we don't need the story, just the distilled belief or mindset that you realized you had at the time.
I'd like to share. I didn't do my homework, but something does come to
Okay.
mind.
Sure.
I am too old to make a career change now.
Ah, that's such a great belief. She said sarcastically. Okay. I'm too old to make a career change now. All right. Does anybody have any version of that they've also believed? It could be I'm too old. For the longest time, I felt like I was too young to be taken seriously as a healer. And one day I woke up and I was 45. I'm not too young anymore because I started healing so early. And, when I was 25, I looked 15, so nobody was taking me seriously. Anyway, so I had I'm too young. Does anyone else have an I'm too something? Too young, too old, too fat, too skinny, too white, too black, whatever. It can be anything like that. Okay, so let me see. Thank you, Lydia, for sharing. What's another belief someone's had about why they behaved a certain way, what led to the results they got or didn't get? Well, there's always results. Anyone else?
Well, sorry for monopolizing, but this kind of goes along with the first exercise that we did. So I don't know if this is actually relevant, but my self-judgments impair me to act on my own behalf. I wind up with, basically cutting myself off from opportunities because I judge myself. So I don't know how
And
to.
what is the judgment that you're coming up with?
A specific, I won't be able to do it. I'm not capable of doing it.
I'm not capable. Okay, yeah, that's a common belief. I'm not capable.
Even
Does
though
anybody
I
else
think
have that?
sorry, even though I'm pretty sure I would be able to, emotionally, I don't feel like I'm able to.
Got it. Yes, this is common. Okay, anyone else have an I'm not capable sort of belief? Something similar? Okay. What are the other beliefs we have floating around? No one else came up with any? Okay, some of my Europeans we will never see because they're sleeping. I had a few of them write in. So Carolyn says, I always assumed my ideas were wrong. So that's related to I'm not capable. Okay, so my ideas are wrong, or it's about making mistakes, right? I'm going to distill that down to I make mistakes. Does anybody else have that?
I do.
Yeah,
I
okay.
do.
And Luke wrote in, I could never be as smart or good as my dad. Okay, so that would be the classic and universal, I'm not good enough. Doesn't matter who you're comparing yourself to, but it's the same thing, I'm not good enough. Rachel wrote, I would never make the best decisions. So that's linked in with mistakes and capability. So we don't have to do that one separately. And Brenda said, I had no talent in anything. I wasn't good enough to be noticed. Another good enough. Okay. Well, not good enough. No talent. Okay. I have no talent. No, I'm not talented. Stronger. I'm not talented. Okay.
Sorry, Sophia.
So any that are,
I have
yes.
one. I don't feel worthy of love.
Yep, that is probably the biggest. I'm not good enough and I'm not worthy of love. Yes, thank you. So this is also why I started with self-acceptance, because if you don't love yourself, you know, you're not going to allow love in from anyone else. But self-acceptance is even the root of that. Okay, I'm going to muscle test to see what would benefit the most people at this time. I do muscle testing in a lot of different ways, so I'll just go through it right now. So the best phrase to clear right now is, I'm too old, I'm not capable, I make mistakes, I'm not good enough, I'm not talented, I'm not worthy of love. Okay, so yes is, I'm not worthy of love. So let's clear that. So think of a situation where you didn't feel you were worthy of someone's love. You may not have thought of it that way exactly. You might have felt like you would never get their love. He or she will never love me, which is I'm not worthy of it. So just remember, it could have been something a little different in your mind, but we're going to go with the phrase, I'm not worthy of love. Take off my other ring, it's bothering me. Okay, so let's do this slightly different way. Close your eyes and put both hands on your heart chakra. Now think about at what age you became aware of, I'm going to say, favoritism. At what age did you notice, oh, my mother loves my sister more, or my cousin gets more attention? What age did you become aware of the concept of love and it being given or not? Can you just say it out loud what age that was so I know what age we're dealing with?
2.
2. Okay, thank you. Margaret?
I got 11.
Okay.
9.
Lydia, 9. Mel?
About 15.
15. Okay. So go to a memory at that age where the awareness of love being given or withheld came to your awareness. And look at you. Look at a picture of you in your heart at that age. So here you are, the older, wiser you from the future. Go and speak to yourself on that day when you had that realization about love. I'll give you 2 minutes to tell yourself what you wish someone had told you then. And start wrapping it up. End with a nice positive, hopeful phrase. Okay. And now go to your next memory of noticing you didn't get as much love as someone else. And if there's pain there, just take your hands off your heart and let the pain just dissipate out. Let it expand far, far away from you. And go back to yourself at that age and speak to her. If you're struggling with what to say, just see love flowing from your heart to the heart of you at that age. And bring that conversation to a close. Very good. Now remember, you have your loved one with you for strength and support. And just squeeze their hand or somehow communicate with them that now you need their love and strength and support, because you're going to go to the most significant event where you felt you were not worthy of love. And go to that memory. And let the pain dissipate. You might want to let it flow down your body and out the bottom of your feet. Or it could come out of your heart, down your arms and off the ends of your fingertips. Let the pain go. And talk to yourself after that event. You're all shifting around, so it sounds like you've ended that. All right, this is a good time to have a drink of your water or tea or what have you. Would anyone like to share any insights? It might help someone else as well.
I felt the shift,
You felt a shift. Okay.
the shift.
Was it in your body physically? Can you describe it?
Talking to the little girl, it felt like I was there to provide her with love and safety and protection, everything she needed.
Right.
And she accepted.
Oh, good. Very good. Wise little girl.
She was.
Yeah. Yeah. So, yeah, this is called reparenting yourself.
I told her she was a wise little girl.
Oh, there you go. Very good. Anyone else? Did anyone have a surprising conversation, something they didn't expect? No. Okay.
I'm glad that my video's off because I'm a crier.
I think everybody's crying.
Yeah. Oh,
I'm
so
my nose and I'm turning off the mute.
I forgot to say, bring tissues. Okay.
I was surprised at just, at risk of starting to cry again, I was surprised at just how starved my little girl was for love.
Mm. Yes, thank you for saying that. I think a lot of people are probably in that position. Well, you cope, right? You learn to cope. And then you carry on, but there's a deficit from the very first incident. So it's good to do this. Okay, so thinking about the phrase, I'm not worthy of love, do you still relate to it? Does it still seem 100% true for you?
It's less.
It's less. Okay, that's what I'm expecting, that it's less. So we only did 3 events. You can do this again by yourself. And I went from the very first memory you had, a feeling that love can be withheld, and then to the second memory, and then we jumped to basically the most traumatizing one. But you can go back and do some others that were not as bad, or you can go and do others that were really bad as well. And talk to yourself at that age. Okay, so it works. Or you could do EFT. So, okay, I'm going to make up a situation, unless somebody wants to share a personal memory. Does anybody want to do that? No. Okay. So let's say my first memory of love being withheld was when a baby brother was brought home from the hospital. Let's say I was an only child for 7 years, and then suddenly parents had a new baby. So that's, 7 years of having all the attention, and then all the attention goes to the baby. So I would do EFT and say something like, even though I suddenly was not the center of their world and I saw all the love going to the baby, I deeply love and accept myself. Okay, something like that. So you have to really put in the feelings that you had with the memory as well. So even though I was suddenly aware I wasn't the center of their world and I felt unloved, I deeply love and accept myself anyway. And then I would do I wasn't the center of their world. The baby got all the love and attention. The baby got all the love and attention. I was so frustrated. I felt unloved. I felt ignored. I felt neglected. So put in all the words, all the feelings you felt, and go through it. Okay. When you're very upset and you're trying to do EFT alone, it can seem unmanageable, like you don't know what to say. But if you are in a state of deep upset because something just happened, you actually don't have to say anything. Just sit with your feelings and just tap through the points. Or you could say, even though I feel so bad, I feel so bad, I feel so bad, this terrible thing just happened, I feel so bad, and just tap that out and do multiple rounds until you don't feel so bad. Okay, so there's lots of different ways to do EFT. You could also pretend you're talking to someone. I mean, you could talk to somebody, but you could pretend and tell them the story. So this is a time where telling your story is okay as you tap it out. So I was 7 years old. I used to be the apple of their eye. You know, I got all the attention, and then the baby came, and the baby had colic and was fussy, and he had allergies. So I got no attention because mom was overwhelmed, and dad hid at work, and so I got nothing. I was left to my own devices. You know, so you go on, you tell the story, you let it all out, you tap it out. So basically, EFT is the only place you're allowed to complain. Just complain heavily, complain and whine and bitch and moan. Just get it all out, tap it out, so then you don't have to do it to anybody else. Okay. But working with the heart chakra is also a way to do it, as we just did. So there's lots of ways to do the healing. All right, how are you feeling? Y'all look a little tired because doing emotional work is tiring. So here's what happens when you have a trauma. I mentioned this on the chakra call on Saturday. When you have a trauma, your cells brace themselves. Like when they sense it coming, they brace themselves and then they defend themselves. So the cell membrane, which should be soft and toxins should flow in and out for detoxification. But if the cell membrane gets hard and rubbery from repeated trauma, then you don't have detoxification. You don't have all, the bad fluid coming out, and you don't have great communication between cells. And this is why traumas make people sick. So you've probably heard somebody say, oh, she was never the same after her husband left her. It was a big trauma, and then she got sicker and sicker. So things like that happen. So when we're doing healing work, we're literally softening the membrane of the cells. And so now all the toxins are allowed to flow out. That's why you feel tired. And that's why you need to drink a lot of water to flush it all out. And I thank Dr. Joe Dispenza for explaining that to me at a conference. Like, oh, you told me what I do. Thank you. Because I couldn't. I mean, yes, it's energy shifting, but you are literally working at the physical level, detoxifying, you do trauma clearing. So you're going to feel tired, so just be gentle with yourself. That's another reason I chose to do this later in the day. Of course, didn't think about the Europeans who wouldn't be able to join because it's 3 a.m. for them. But anyway, so after this, you can just go right to bed and sleep it off and wake up energized and vibrant, more vibrant tomorrow.
Can I ask a question?
All right. Is there a belief or mindset somebody is now willing to share? People's courage increases as time goes on. Anyone?
I guess it'd be a mindset for me. The thing that came to mind was, I don't know if it's the right category or not, but I would, there's a member of the family that's really negative toward me, and my brother's wife. And so I think I kind of,
Okay. Lydia, start your question over because I missed it all.
oh, okay. Well, I was talking about, I don't know if it's a mind, I think it would be called a mindset that I have. And it's just that I sort of underachieve, I think, to please my sister-in-law, who sort of acts like I'm full of myself. And my sister-in-law would, there's no pleasing my sister-in-law. And I realized I don't go for my dreams. I don't, step into all I could be. I keep this humble stature. I don't, and I look at my life and I think, wow, I've done that for decades in a way to try to have my place in the family. I have good work and things, but I don't really state all that I could be or all that I would like to achieve, you know.
Okay,
And
thank you for sharing that. Um, so what's the first memory you have of trying to please your sister-in-law?
well, soon after she came, there are so many memories, and I can't really.
Was it something she said to you? I'm just trying to pinpoint it.
Yeah, I mean,
Was it a judgment she made?
yeah, a lot of it is just really kind of like passive aggressive. It's um, there's just so many things. I can't actually think of anything right now. And there's actually
Okay.
so many
Um,
things, but things like,
okay.
I
So
mean, there's just,
why?
it just goes on. I call my brother, and while I'm talking to him, she's talking to him. So he's quiet, and I hear shush, 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 shush. You know, and I'm like, okay, do you need to talk to you guys need to have a conversation, or, you know, um,
Mhm.
and then I'm left out of things. They told me not to come to my nephew's. I mean, my nephew is my godchild, and he graduated from med school. I was caring for my mother, so I couldn't come to cry. I couldn't come to his neither one of us and my mother. I said, can I come representing my mom, because education was her thing, and she gave gifts, considerable gifts, considering she was just a school teacher, for his education. And I wasn't allowed. And it was things like, oh, well, it would be awkward for me to be there. Like, why? That's too much story, but, um,
Okay.
it's, and,
Okay.
when
Well, since that memory came up and it's very painful, let's just work with that. So you weren't at your godson's graduation. Is that what it was?
yeah, yeah. And he
You were
doesn't
told not to
call me,
go.
he hasn't called me. He's a COVID doctor now. He's been, as soon as he became a doctor, COVID came out, and he's busy, but,
Okay.
you know,
Okay, Margaret. Let's focus on you being told you couldn't go to his graduation. It would be awkward. And you knew that was just an excuse, right? There's nothing awkward about an aunt and godmother going to the graduation. Okay, so everyone else, you can think of a similar situation you've been through where you felt unwanted, unwelcome, uninvited. Okay, and this time we're going to work with the root chakra. So that's at the base of the spine. So you can just hold your hand sort of in front of your legs, between your legs. And and the other hand, I want you to put over your mouth, because, well, when somebody is surprised or shocked, they go, oh, because the points under the nose and under the lip are for shock and embarrassment. So that's why. Okay, so root and around the mouth. Okay, so close your eyes. I'm going to uncover so that you can understand what I'm saying. Okay, close your eyes and go to that memory, that painful memory. And we're using the root chakra because it has to do with safety, family, community, belonging, security. And it sounds like your sister-in-law has compromised those feelings for you. So think about the root chakra sending energy sort of in an arc in front of your body. So from the bottom of your torso up to around your mouth. And then the energy flows through your mouth, through your head, down your body. So basically it's a big oval. I want to connect the root chakra to those chakras around the mouth in a big oval. So just see the communication happening and they're supporting and healing each other. Okay, so big tall oval. From the mouth down to the root, and just keep looping it and increase the speed a little bit. Oh, that's good. Okay, slow down the speed. Okay, so now end that energy exchange and just keep holding those chakras. I want you to think about the painful memory just turning gelatinous. It's no more a solid thing. It's just mushy, slimy, and it keeps melting. It keeps liquefying. And now when you envision standing underneath a waterfall in a beautiful tropical island, these are healing waters over a healing vortex in this part of the earth. And this water just cleanses the pain of that memory and any associated memories. It all just runs out through you. You don't have to hold the chakras anymore. Just put your hands in your lap or anywhere. And let this water cleanse you. The energy of this waterfall enters you and clears out all the toxic memories, all the damage done by those memories is being neutralized and washed away. And when you feel thoroughly cleansed, walk away from the waterfall. And there's a series of nice stepping stones where you can safely get to a very large rock. And you can sit there to dry in the sun. And the warmth you feel on your skin is the love of your heavenly mother and father. Oh. And that love corrects everything. Any unpleasant thing that comes to you from someone else comes from their own wounded self. Ignore. Ignore and just send it back with compassion. Keep absorbing the warm sunshine. It's recalibrating the frequency of every organ in your body. And this rock is large enough that you can lie down on it so that you are belly up to the sun. And it's perfectly safe. And now let the sun hit all your chakras. The main 7, the root at the base of your spine, the sacral at the bikini area. Going to include the navel and the solar plexus, at your stomach, basically, top of your stomach, the heart chakra, the throat chakra, the third eye, just in the center of your forehead, and the crown chakra. All the chakras are being fed pure energy, and they channel it into the organs that they support. And right here, right now, you make a commitment to never be limited by someone's negativity, but instead to be expanded by someone's recognition of your potential. And of course, that greatest someone is your creator. Your sister-in-law is no match for God. And just take some normal breaths. And absorb the strength of the rock you're on. It is ancient. It is tough from all that it has endured, all the seasons and millennia. Absorb that strength to carry with you. And rise up from the rock. You're going to follow a path. Beautiful path where birds are singing in your honor. And butterflies dance because they are so happy to see you. And you pass an audience of all your supporters. And you get closer and closer to your dream life. And step into that life with confidence and self-love. And look into your bright, I want to say iridescent future. It's all bright and light and welcoming and shimmering and glittering and really joyful. If you can see this, you deserve it. It's there for you. I want you to anchor this vision. Press together your thumb and your index finger of your dominant hand. Squeeze it as you look into this bright, happy future. Good. Whenever you want a reminder of this vision and this feeling, you squeeze your thumb and forefinger together. If you need a boost of confidence, go to your anchor, squeeze it and see it. And tell yourself, I am completely worthy of love. I am entirely worthy of love. I have always been worthy of love. And I continue to be worthy of love. In fact, by being clear, I am in the flow of love. I am love. Good work. Very nice.
Thank you.
Are you feeling more peaceful, Margaret?
Oh my goodness. Oh, that really helped me.
Good.
That's really hurt so long. Ever since it happened, it's
Yeah.
hurt me so much. And I could feel the shift. Thank you so much.
Excellent. You're very welcome. So what benefits did others borrow? Any insights or feelings, new thoughts? Anyone?
I appreciated the fact that I got to let go of other people's negativity.
Mm. Yeah. It's important daily housework. Yes. Mel, do you want to say something?
Mhm. I was going to say to you, thanks for that great meditation, which is how I felt it was. Very nicely done. Also, wonderful reminder. You know, sometimes it's just listening to something like that is reinforcement and a reminder, perhaps, of not perhaps, it's a reminder of work, past work done, you know, so it's thank you for that. It's just more reinforcement. Yeah, if that makes sense. It does to me.
You're welcome. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I think, nobody here is 16. We've probably all had some sort of therapy and healing along the way. And yeah, it is a good reminder to go back to it and clear more layers of old stuff. Lydia, do you have anything to share?
What helped was the you stating what other people's judgments and criticisms come from their own place of injury, and that statement helped to really neutralize that, because I find I often take that more often than not, I take that on, and that hurts me. It's
Yes.
very hard not to have it hurt you, because you rely on other people's support and validation, especially the people that are
Yeah.
close to you. So when you don't get that, it really does hurt, and it's really hard to sort of flip it around and say it's theirs. It's not you. It's them.
Yeah, it is hard. I have to remind myself constantly. Family dynamics are very complicated, and obviously they're the people closest to you, they're the people who are going to hurt you the most, if that's on the table. So yeah, you have to remind yourself. And I've been reminding myself that okay, we've got 3 teenagers in the family, 3 nieces who are just so nasty to me right now. And it hurts me deeply. So I've stopped reacting. And so I just think, okay, there's some other aspect that I need to clear. There's something about me that they're reacting to energetically. So rather than thinking they're rude and mean and nasty, now I'm actually doing more self-healing. So 2 of them were over for dinner earlier, and they weren't nasty today. So yes, it's coming from their place of wound, but also it's the wounded part of us that has not healed that's being triggered.
Right.
So it's a double wound whammy. And you have to keep working on yourself, keep clearing, and staying calm and centered is really, really important. So being in a place of self-acceptance and calmness will dissipate any horrible reactions and bad scenes.
Something coming to
There
mind
you go.
with me, another thing, I mean, other people can talk too, but I have a pattern of people, like a friend moved in, and I'm not being paid. He's been here 6 months, and I don't have it. And my brother, as soon as he came in, my brother said, "Oh, you've taken in another homeless person." And I was like, Danny wasn't homeless. And then I sort of realized the previous person didn't pay me either and stayed for a while. It's not like, I'm sleeping with them either. They are company and it's nice. But I think, don't you want to pay me something or something? You know, and the people I have dated, I always pay my way and typically a little of theirs. And I just don't know, and that's a deserving thing too, but I really think it's my energy, but I don't really exactly know. I would like someone to feel, I don't want to make a thing out of it. I'd just like them to want to give, do their share or pay their, and, my friend Darren is really generous to other people, and he was always generous to me. I'm surprised he's not paying me anything, but it's a pattern with
Okay,
me.
it's a pattern. So the best thing to do is to have the awkward conversation immediately. So the awkward conversation would be, you'd like to live with me? Okay, here are my expenses, and this is what I have to charge you. You don't even have to tell them what your expenses are, but you have to have the conversation up front, because after the first week goes by and they haven't paid, then it gets more and more difficult and awkward. So you need to have the courage to say it at the beginning. So is he still there with you?
He's been here 6 months.
Okay, well,
And I enjoy him. I
do you
just,
need the money? Like, are you?
yeah,
Yeah.
I mean, I am finally this
Okay.
month getting some work, but I've I've been,
Ah,
I've gathered more work this last 6 months, and but
okay. Well, you need to have that conversation. You need to say, I've been afraid to mention it. I was hoping you would be paying rent, and see what he says. Yeah,
out of that,
it's a tough one. If anyone has any better advice, go ahead.
I kind of was hoping that he could do some energy work on me, or maybe, I don't know. Um,
Well, it's all about your self-respect and self-worth, right?
yeah,
Yeah. And I understand because I used to be in situations like that too. You've got to say it up front. This is what I've learned. And and if the worst thing is when people say, "Oh, we'll figure it out along the way." That's a recipe for disaster. That will end the friendship. Insist. I'll say, no, no, no. Let's figure this out now. What you? I don't want there to be resentment down the line, and insist on an agreement of some sort.
yeah.
Margaret, your challenge is to have that conversation this week. And
Okay.
you're going to report back to us. You're being held accountable now. And you can just imagine us behind you going, tell him, tell him. He can't have you paying for everything. Come on. Oh, anyway. Okay. So any closing words?
It was just an observation of mine. When you had taken us to that idyllic place at the end, I had this connection. I actually had this sort of spontaneous little vision once. It was a few years back when I was heavily involved in taking care of somebody who was very close to me and dying. And I was in a yoga session, group yoga, and it was at the very end when we were doing our shavasana. I think that's what you call it at the very end when you're just relaxing. And I had this vision of myself walking barefoot through this beautiful landscape and feeling very supported and loved. And it just came out of nowhere. And it's interesting how closely it resembles the image that you had shared with us.
Nice. Good. I had a little bit of a panic because I thought, was anybody naked under the waterfall? Am I telling them to walk to their new life naked? I just figured you did what had to be done. Or you could be naked and comfortable. Oh, when I make up these visualizations, sometimes I forget some details. I'm not reading it off anything, Anyway, I hope it all worked out and nobody was stark naked in a Emerald City or something. Okay, so same time, same place next week. I'll email, sure if it'll be the same Zoom one. So look out for that email and we'll do it again. So I encourage you to journal. And I forgot what we're doing next week. What is the theme next week? I don't know. I'll send you a little bit of homework. And so you can be a little more prepared. But do journal and see what comes up and then use EFT to tap it away. And
Sophia, was this in the homework that I didn't do? Was there an explanation as to how EFT works? Like how does the tapping translate?
It's like acupuncture. Basically, we're stimulating each organ. So each organ holds stress, and each of these tapping points corresponds to an organ. And so you're releasing the stress from the organ. And because it's only a few seconds, we just tap them all. There are healing systems where you figure out what organ it's stuck in, but that just takes up so much more time than just tapping. And so that's why it's easy that way. And there are other tapping points, but these are the main ones that seem to work the most. I mean, I added around the ears and the back of the head. So those are two secondary ones. and occasionally I'll tap around the kneecaps and even around the ankles. So, but be careful around the ankles. Like it could actually cause a miscarriage if somebody is pregnant, because that's the reproductive area for women. So anyway, the ones I showed you and that are on the tapping chart that's in the bonuses you downloaded, those are fine, good enough to
Okay.
use. And they get the job done.
Thank
All
you.
right. Okay, you're very welcome. So I'm going to stop the recording. You sure you want to stop the recording?